then they cut to an Orton Edge review to kind of give us up to speed on what happened over the weekend. And like I said yesterday, I was particularly looking forward to this match because I'd never seen Edge perform in a semi-live format such as that. And I thought the outcome was what it should have been, redemption for Edge over Orton. And I like the personal aspect of this feud, bringing Beth and the girls into it to make us as fans more invested in the outcome of that bout. And then we see another match, a tag match between Cedric Alexander and Ricochet versus Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch. And for me, this match was just kind of there because I hope that they do something with Alexander and Ricochet because they're two performers that deserve a spot on the card. But like I said earlier, I rarely get invested in tag team wrestling. So it was just sort of what it was for me. I was glad that they got the win, but other than that. So then we saw a review of Rollins and Owens, and I thought that this match was great because you had the disqualification to sort of set Seth as this evil troublemaker person, and then the ultimate redemption for Owens in getting his WrestleMania moment by jumping off the sign, and then the win over Rollins. Then we see an Owens promo, which is basically asking the question that I asked myself, which is, where does he go from here? And my first thought was, he talks about being a prize fighter, so maybe they're setting up a McIntyre-Owens feud, which would be kind of interesting to see. After that, we get a Rollins squash match, which I thought was a intriguing choice because to me, Seth has always been one of these characters to go out there and complain about the outcome of his matches if he lost, or gloat about them if he won. And so this time they went a different route in showing that he's still physically dominant over a NXT newcomer. So then we saw Nia Jax versus Deonna Purrazzo. And I'm glad to see Nia Jax back because it's the same argument that I made for Belair. They are moving Flair to SmackDown, so they need that strength in the women's division. But I did have a problem with the match because it sort of made Purrazzo look weak, which I understand that you want to make Jax look powerful, which in turn would make her opponent look weak. But to me, I think they should have used someone else because Deonna is a somewhat credible NXT superstar. I mean, she's tried to vie for the NXT Women's Championship for months. So I think it hurt her in the process of building up Jax, which I was not for. So then they recapped the Boneyard match between Undertaker and AJ Styles. And again, I go back to I like the personal aspect of this match as well, because we don't get to see a lot of the personal side of the Undertaker because he's the dead man. He's the Undertaker. That character is so involved that it rarely ever gets to a personal life level like it did this time, bringing in Michelle McCool, but more importantly for the match, his age as well. bringing up that he's an old man who should just retire for the newer generation, which I thought was funny because Styles is getting up there in age as well. But that's besides the point, kind of. I found the finish of the match interesting because this was one of the ones that I didn't know which way it was going to go. Because did they give it to The Undertaker to continue his dominance at Mania, or did they give it to Styles so he can gloat that he finished off the old man? They obviously went the former route, which it will be interesting to see if that goes any further in a storyline. Then we had a promo from Charlotte Flair saying that the woman or the man makes the championship, which I totally agree with. I liked that promo a lot because it affirmed my thinking that giving this championship to Charlotte will automatically raise the level of competition in the NXT women's division and make all the other women work harder in order to attain that title and make the entire division more must-see. So I'm super excited for what's to come in NXT. And then we ended with a match that happened after the main event of WrestleMania between Drew McIntyre and The Big Show. And all night long, they had been saying that, something happened that was unexpected after Drew McIntyre won the match. And my thoughts were, Brock attacked him during a backstage interview or whatever, saying that he wanted his title back, setting up for Money in the Bank, yada, yada, yada. Well, then we get to the actual segment where he's doing an in-ring interview. And then we hear the Big Show's music. And y'all, I freaked out because I'm a Big Show fan. But then as I started thinking about it, and as he was dominating McIntyre throughout the majority of the match, one, they're either going to make the biggest mistake in that they give this title to a fresh new face and then immediately strip him of it for someone who was way more popular in the 90s. Or they give him credibility by beating this giant of a man and overcoming another obstacle just 20 minutes after initially winning the championship. Thankfully, they did have McIntyre win. But one thing that I thought was odd was that it took about 4 Claymores to defeat Lesnar. It took 1 Claymore to defeat the Big Show. And I don't know, because it's like they set up Brock Lesnar as this beast, the beast incarnate, this conqueror who cannot be defeated by any mere mortal, all this different stuff. But at the same time, it's like the Big Show is an actual giant, like 7 foot tall giant. So you think that it would take more to defeat him than it would a guy who has a little bit more muscles than the average man. But I don't know, those are just my thoughts. I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment below, tell me what you thought of last night's show. Tell me how you think I can improve this show to make it more fun for you guys. Comment, like, share, subscribe, all of that fun stuff. Take care of yourselves. Until next time.